Do you have a job that the average person doesn't even know exists? I cut eyes out of dead people. I am an eye bank technician. I surgically remove corneas and whole eyes from donors for cornea transplants and research. I think most people don't want to know about my job. Well, when I die, I'll be seeing you or not. I am responsible for breaking toys and write reports about them how they break. A totally different job from my previous job using promotions from online casinos to earn a living and travel the world. I start on Friday as a standardized patient. Essentially, med students practice their bedside manner on me. I bounce on a pogo stick in a clown outfit. I'm a professional prosthesis bra fitter. I fit women who have had a mastectomy, usually women who have had breast cancer. I trim medical marijuana for dispensaries. I drive tugboats. It's fun. I drink and decide where to look for gold, otherwise known as an exploration geologist. I'm an epidemiologist. When people ask what my profession is, I have to repeat it like 2 or 3 times before I just say research scientist. I spent a summer balancing beer trucks. The object of Job is to make sure that the beer truck is as full as possible at all times, ideally picking up on skid of empties when delivering 1 skid of beer. Beer truck Tetris. It's a thing. I regulate motion pictures for the government, meaning I spend my days watching movies before they are released and reviewing pornography before it can be sold in stores or shown in booths. For work, I get to break into hospitals and steal things. It's referred to as a physical penetration test. It's an integral part of a risk assessment, which is required under 164.308 of Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. I routinely pick locks, steal access badges, impersonate medical personnel, harvest data and credentials, crack passwords, and utilize various social engineering tactics. My official title is Information Security Consultant. I have a degree in Information Systems Management, as well as Cisco Certified Network Associate, Security Plus, and Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency certifications. I install fake vaults in people's homes. I work for Chacha. I think some people think I'm a robot when I'm actually not. I am an assistant for an escort service. I lost my real and pretty good job about a month ago. Now I schedule appointments for escorts. Most of my friends know. My mom thinks I am a personal assistant. I kind of am. For a while, I repaired books at a library. I think most people assume that when books get old, they are thrown away and bought new unless they are collectible. Well, the composition of books in a research university's library is very different from a local branch library, and almost everything we had was collectible in some ways. Not necessarily monetarily valuable, but often rare. Many early 1900th century books about local economic policies and proceedings from city council meetings, and a whole lot of grad theses that had not been checked out once since their publication. Too long. Didn't read. I once spent 4 hours gluing pictures of sad clowns into a book. I work for a superstore and they send me to a competitor across the street in plain clothes. I take a device, personal digital assistant, that holds a list of items on it. I locate the items and record the price. Every week. I'm a competitive shopper. I make people do a shot of Screech, kiss a codefish and say, funny thing, my official job title is Screecher. Inner. It's a tourism job for the province of Newfoundland and I do it every day over the summer, twice a day. It's a tradition here for welcoming people to the island and is basically the best job ever. I'm an orthoepist. I work at an audiobook publisher where I research the correct pronunciation of people, places, things, and foreign languages so that the actors reading the books sound like they know what they're talking about. As far as I know, there are only 2 of us in the country. I go to various retirement homes pretending to be looking for one for my mother-in-law. I'm given tours and have to write reports as well as make recorded phone calls. I'm sent in by head offices so that they can find any problems in the homes. I work at a manufacturing plant called Industries for the Blind, where around half the employees are totally blind and most of the people that work there, including me, have some sort of vision problem. I'm a sign artist at a well-known neighborhood grocery chain. Everything in the store is drawn or written by hand, even down to the price tags on the shelves. I'm the one that wakes up at the crack of dawn to do this. Cute illustrations on the displays. Me. Awesome window paintings outside. Me. Hilarious cartoons and wall murals. All me. When I mention it to people, they have never noticed. I'm assuming Trader Joe's. If so, bravo. I assumed most of that stuff was printed to look handwritten. Physical hydrogeologist. I imagine the ground using water flows, so you're a water bender. I didn't get it, but I once applied for a job as a heritage officer. Sounded normal enough. but it involved basically going around cemeteries, photographing graves, and keeping a log of them. It was so unusual, I was desperate for it. Not to mention working alone and out in the fresh air. So what do you? Oh, look at graves. I write instruction manuals for installing various equipment. Even the people I work with do not know what I do. I manage an adult literacy program. Most people think it is some sort of elaborate book club, or that I am mistaken and meant to say that I teach children to read and write. Sadly, my job exists because 1 in 6 adults are functionally illiterate where I live. My field is medical illustration. I specifically do medical legal work, so for courtroom purposes, when I travel by airplane, I just claim to be a bartender again as it gets a little dull, explaining over and over. Architectural illustrator here. My family still refers to me as an architect because they don't quite understand what I do. I used to be an architect, but they can't pass the whole concept. Still have an aunt or cousin who will ask, so are you still drawing plans? I'm a channel manager at a YouTube network. I basically get paid to watch and maintain YouTube channels all day. My job didn't exist when I was in college. When you miss your lecture and decide to listen to the online recording instead, I'm the guy who the university sends the online recording to, so I can make it sound nice. Add compression, equalize it properly, make sure it's mono, remove pops or crackles, and so on. There are things in the world that could happen and cause civilizations to flip upside down. I write those plans for people to follow to prevent things from going tits up. Emergency management. Not me, but one of my best friends writes jingles for commercials. Advertising firms fly him out to Nashville like once every other month for a week and tell him what kind of vibe they want, and he just thinks of 30 seconds of goofy shit to give them. I maintain hiking trails in our national forests. I camp out for 8 days at a time, with 6 days weekends. While out camping, I clear down trees from the trails with chainsaws, crosscut saws, build bridges, retaining walls, drain water off the trail, fix rock or landslides, cut down large trees, etc. I hike most everywhere with my crew, although we use horses and mules to carry out camping equipment. Some places require us to ride all terrain vehicles and dirt bikes, while other places are only accessible by jet boat or airplane. I love my job. I get paid $16.50 an hour. I get to live in nature damn near all year long, and I don't really have much time to spend my money. I work for the United States Forest Service. My job title is Wilderness Technician of Trails, and you can apply for jobs like mine all over the country on US government jobs. Search for Wilderness Tech, Recreation Tech, or Trails Tech. I make pig feed. They aren't just fed corn. A lot of science involved. Their diets change almost monthly with the weather, so we are constantly changing the nutrients we give them. Also, a little nugget that blows my mind. Pigs naturally will bite each other's tails off as a dominance thing, like squirrels do. However, simply increasing their magnesium in the diet will make them not bite each other. You know, whenever you click on YouTube to watch something, but then you get redirected to AI, 15 to 30 second additional that you have to watch. Yeah, I target and put those there, as well as those annoying banner additional that instantly display whatever you've most recently searched for. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for attention, I can tell you, I don't have any patience. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you switch all the ads to 5-second skippables, that will be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you, I will find you, and I will, while staring into your eyes. I work in nuclear power plants around the country. When they shut down every 18 months or so, I go inside reactors and refurbish and test motor actuators on valves to ensure safe operating condition. A few quick things in case anyone is curious. No, it's nothing like The Simpsons. Yes, I am exposed to radiation, and no, I don't glow at night. This exposure is constantly monitored and relatively safe. It is a very well-paid job, but somewhat dangerous due to safety concerns and high levels of quality we must adhere to. I am an analyst at an engineering company. I run to the store, get cookies and lime Diet Coke every day for my boss. I graduated with a degree in political science and minored in economics. I ended up becoming a compliance advisor for a registered financial firm, the good kind. I deal with securities regulation all day and make sure we don't screw over our client. It is a job that I really enjoy doing, has great growth opportunities, and is kind of easy to get into, since not many people know about it and are interested in it. My career has really taken off with all the regulation coming out, Dodd-Frank, and scandals made off. I make 6 figures. I monitor offenders that are on conditional release, house arrest, etc. Some of them have an ankle bracelet that locates them via global positioning system, and others are under the voice recognition system. This is a system in where the offender gets a check-in call at random times of their curfew. There is a recorded version of their voice, and this software verifies that it's the same voice. If they fail the call, I call the offender and ask him or her questions to verify their identity. Depending on the risk level, I can call the police to report a breach. I am a range safety officer. I walk endless miles up and down a firing line full of grown children with loaded guns and correct them when they do stupid shit. Having a loaded gun pointed at me doesn't faze me anymore, partly because I'm desensitized, partly because I hate my job, and the sweet release of death would be the next best thing to just punching my manager and quitting. I sell Lego pieces. I buy bulk Lego sets, normally from Amazon or whoever else online has the best deals. Part out the pieces and list them individually on my online store. My customers are generally one of two people: adults who want 1,000 of something, but don't want to buy 100 of a set to get it, such as a red 2x4 brick to build an enormous structure. Parents whose kid wants a specific minifigure that happens to only come in a set that costs a lot of money. The kid doesn't want Super Duper playset number 12, he wants the Gold Ninja. So instead of spending $130 for the big set, they can spend $15 on just the figure, and it works out well for both of us. Generally, I can part out a set for around 200 to 250% of its purchase price, more if I find it on clearance or in a really good sale. My wife and I also make monthly trips to our nearest Lego store, one state over, to buy hundreds of dollars of pick-a-brick pieces to put into our inventory. Our store is still pretty small, but there are many people who have become wealthy, doing it after a lot of hard work. It requires some initial investment, willingness to run to the post office to occasionally ship a 3-cent part, and excellent customer service skills, the largest hazard of the job. Your chances of stepping on a Lego in the middle of the night go up substantially when you have over 100,000 pieces in the house. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel and press the like button.